very early on, we're starting to see kind of who's cut out for this and maybe who possibly isn't cut out for this. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Project Runway. This is season 18, episode 2. As I said, we're starting to kind of see who's cut out for this and who's not cut out for this. First thing is first that actually happened. The designers they're shook. They are shook from the double elimination that took place in episode 1. And then we see Daeyoung actually gets completely sick. Her body is starting to shut down on her, and she's taken to the hospital. So at the top of the day, starting the second challenge, she ends up going to the hospital. She literally missed a whole day. It's a 2-day challenge. The challenge is inspired by the new movie Cats, and it is street chic using an animal print is the challenge with a $250 budget. They got to go to Mood. Like I said, Daeyoung literally missed the whole first day. And to the second day, she actually ended up going shopping. So she missed a couple hours there doing her shopping for her garment and trying to get her sketch together that morning as well. So she's totally behind. And it literally was a thing of her not hydrating properly, not they just said she wasn't really taking care of herself properly, and it showed up. And yeah, her body was starting to shut down on her. So the resting of the whole day, that kind of got her together. And I'm sure they gave her some other things to get her together, some Pedialyte and some different things, and they probably put her on an IV too. But yeah, they didn't show any of that, but that's generally what they do when you are shut down. Okay, so Jeffrey. Come on, Jeffrey. What's going on? Jeffrey is in Mood, flustered again. Like he's flustered. He's running all around. He's the last 30 seconds getting to the line. I worry about Jeffrey. I don't know about Jeffrey. I can see him cracking or snapping out somewhere in here. It just looks like it's beating him down already. Like literally. Anyway, so we go in. Tyler and Christian have this little conversation. Tyler was working on a whole little situation with origami, and that's how he was inspired. Then he did this drop crotch type pant, and Christian was asking him, do you think that this is a new take on this style? Or do you think this is like something that they've seen before? You know, this is something we've seen before. He stuck beside it. He was like, you know what? It is what it is. This is what I see. I like Tyler, though. I do like Tyler. And I was like, Tyler will figure something out. He's going to turn it out. I thought he would rock it. I think it would be fine. But yeah, he stood up, but him and Christian did not see eye to eye at all. So we move on from that. Then there was this little scene where Tyler was sitting. This was after day 1 in the workroom, and they had gotten back to the house. And I'm trying to think who else was in the room. But I know it was Tyler and it was Sergio. Now, I had already said this last episode. Sergio got a little bit of mess with him, okay? And he has this thing about wanting to battle with Christian and battle with the judges. And it just didn't sit real well with me. Well, my boy Tyler surely picked up on it as well. When Sergio and Christian had their talk, Sergio told Christian, listen, I don't design for young people because young people don't have the money to be able to shop for better fashions. So why even bother designing for them? And I thought that was horrible. That was a horrible, horrible thing to say. Christian told him that is absolutely incorrect. And remember what we're doing here, Sergio. That could really definitely hurt your brand. That's been now aired on national television. But I was like so floored with that. But yeah, because he literally then made this gown. It's like a gown. It's like a asymmetric. It's like not. It's that whole short in the front. It's a high low. Short in the front, long in the back, and there's a train, and it was inspired by his cat. And I got that when he said it was inspired by the cat. And he said, cats are always extra, and they are. They're very, perfect and completely extra. So he said it's gonna have a train, and I'm like, okay, I get that. I get what you're saying, but we're talking about street style. Street style is hip and pop, chic. And you say street chic, it's very New York City, very day party, very, that girl is what it is. I don't know about this. That's a gown. You can call it anything you want. You could decorate it up and talk about it. It's a gown. Flat out. It's a gown. It's a gown. But whatever. Tyler said, I feel like Sergio is playing a character for television. And I said, bingo. Yes, I feel like it too. I feel like it's a game. I do. I feel like it's a game. I just feel like he is taking a whole RuPaul's Drag Race type of lane with this show. And I'm like, that don't work over here. That works over there with RuPaul and the Drag Race. That don't work over here with Christian and Nina and all these folks over here. That doesn't work over here. But that's what I was getting as well. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I like that Tyler. I like that Tyler. I like Tyler. But that was that. So, again, I was like, okay. So then Sergio was speaking about this political statement that he wanted to make, and he wanted to make sure he got the chance to say it to the judges and all of this, which they didn't even air it. If he did get to say it to the judges, it didn't get aired. About animals and the extinction of animals, and at some point, all we're going to have is these prints and this, that, the other. Listen, I call BS. I call BS. You're playing a character and you're trying to make your mark on the show, and nobody's really interested, and it's way too early for this garbage. Dalvin, we're gone from that. We're done. We're going to day 2. Dalvin did something fabric-wise that stood out from the gate. And I knew it would. Dalvin chose fabrication that was beautiful, and then he went with a tailored look. It's still animal print, because see, I'm not a big fan of animal print fabric, so this would have been a true challenge for me, because I'm not a big fan. I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty. A lot of it I find tacky. I don't generally design around animal print. I've done things with it, but it's not one of my go-tos. So I was like, okay, but he chose, it's a bird. It literally is bird feathers, like a parrot's feathers. So it's like green, beautiful, but it was chic, because when you look at the fabric, it screams Versace. Is what I got from it when I looked at it. It screamed Versace. And I was like, that's lush. That's pop. That's hip. That Gianni made that thing work. Okay? And Donatella carries it on. When I looked at it, I thought Versace from the door. So I was like, okay, cool. Now, Dalvin's thing is it's funny. Dalvin sews well. Dalvin sews fast, just like Christian. And he was ducking Christian, because he literally finished his garment day 1. It was a coat dress, sharp, Really, really sharp. Really sharp. He finished it. Um, and he literally was ducking Christian because Christian fusses at him. He's like, it's not done. Nothing is done until the last minute. There's something you can do to up the ante. And I just laugh. And I think Christian gets it. And I think Christian gets him. But I think he's just pushing him. He knows he's good. But he's just pushing him. Probably sees a lot of him in, because I remember when Christians sees baby Christian. Listen, there's never been another entry like Christian until now. Dalvin works fast and he works well, but yeah, Christian tore this show down when he was on. Loved it. Anyway, so day 1 or day 2, we get to the end of it, and a lot of the other designers started to help Dayoung because she was running out of time. And there was like 4 or 5 of them over there, and they're working and they're doing little stuff and, hems and little stuff like that, and helping with the facings and all of that. And Dalvin didn't. He didn't help. He just was like, yeah, okay. And he was sad-eyed a little bit for that. And I was like, this is a competition, people. This is a competition. And truly, that was nice. That was nice. But it's not going to get you anything when you get on that runway and your garment's lacking something, and they say, well, why is this not done well? Why is this not this? And why is that not that? And you tell them because you was helping Dayoung. That ain't going to get you anything on that runway. So, that's one of them things. Darned if you do, darned if you don't. He didn't, and that was that. And then we just have to, I don't know. I mean, we don't even really know each other all that well. Would Dayoung have helped him? I don't know. But it was what it was. He really wasn't doing anything. But again, at the same token, this is a competition. Okay, so moving on. So once we go to the actual show, Marnie Cinefonte is actually the guest judge, okay? And we start off, these are the things I liked. I liked Tyler's garment. I liked the whole origami thing, and it was like a karate cat type of thing, and it was done well. It was done well, hook and eye closure with leather, and it was very much what he said, Japanese street style, very much that. Very cosplay looking, and that was one of the comments, that it looked too costumey. That was what I think it was Nina that said it looks too much like a costume to me, and I was like, okay. Alan did it was like this snakeskin blouse and this camel skirt. I thought it was really nice, really nice. But my favorite overall was this mixed and match. Listen, it was Marquise. Marquise did this blouse and a skirt / short. They were like shorts with a skirt on one side. Really cute. And the shirt, I'm telling you, the blouse, he mix matched the hell out of 3 different animal prints and came up with this blouse. And this blouse was everything. It was everything. The fit, the way everything lay, it was just perfect. It really was. It screamed animal print, street style, New York City. Boom. Like he hit every check mark. You couldn't even get it. It was true live street style. I loved it. So that was actually my favorite thing on the runway. Nancy did this whole deconstruction situation. And this, like, it had a hood, and it was kind of cropped, but it was like deconstructed, like she was cutting and zipping and with these electric scissors. And I thought it turned out really sharp. It was a whole, end of the world cat type of thing going on, and I just liked it. And I that's not usually even my style or my aesthetic, but I liked it. I thought that the top part was really, really sharp. I really liked it. Um, it didn't score that high. It was just it was safe. It just was safe. Same thing with Allen. It was just safe. Um, Tyler's actually fell in the bottom. Tyler's fell in the bottom. Um, I was shocked. Like I said, I did really like Dalvin's bird feather print. It just his fabrication alone set him apart, and the fact that it was tailored and it looked rich. It was street style, but it was upper crust street. So it just literally stood by itself. So listen to this. The judges were literally torn between Dalvin and Marquise for the winner. They were torn. And then they were also torn at, they were like very disappointed to put Jeffrey in the bottom because he had did so well the week before. And they even talked about it. He's all over the place and it's nerves. And they told him, they actually talked to him and told, you have to calm down. Sit into this. Sit in the pocket of this whole situation, of this experience, and enjoy it and take it for what it's worth. Get the nerves off you. Don't let the nerves ruin this for you. So they were really saddened to have to put him in the bottom, but he was where he deserved to be. See, because he started off, like I said, he was all over the place. He's talking about making this caftan. No, sir. And he was going to make it down to the floor. And Christian was like, honey, we already got a fool out here with a gown out here. And he had the nerve to put a ruffle on that gown, too. That Sergio had the nerve to put a ruffle on it. I said, oh, stop. It ended up being safe, though. I said, whatever. It was a cute gown. But I was like, street style, I know. Veronica just kind of, she ended up falling to the bottom as well. She missed the mark, and it was, she didn't really know how to deal with her fabric because she had leather and she didn't get lining for it. And then she did this silk chiffon like diaper short and it just wasn't executed well. I didn't think the shorts were all that bad, but the top not having the lining, I'm like, how do you buy leather with no lining? Girl, stop. So this is not the time to like start experiment with things that you don't really know a whole lot about. Yeah, no. So we had that whole thing go on, and it was questionable construction. Trying to think, there was something else. Yeah, that's it. Okay, all right. So the winner ended up being Marquise. So I actually, this time, me and the judges were on the same page. And Marquise won. And this is the thing about Marquise. Marquise, we found out, Marquise is self-taught. Okay? He is part of the ballroom scene as well in New York. He came to New York and he actually did try to enroll in school, but he was denied entry to school. He was denied entry in a school in New York. So he's self-taught, couldn't get into the school, couldn't pass the audition for school, and now he's on Project Runway and he just won a challenge. I said, boom. How's that? That's got to make you feel good. I was very proud of him. And he didn't speak badly about school, not accepted him or anything. It just showed his perseverance and everything. So definitely starting to see your dreams realized. I was really happy with that. Very, very proud of the young man. I said, you go ahead, Marquise. And Veronica was, they sent old Veronica home. So I felt bad for her because she was really down on herself about the whole thing about being gone away from her daughter and saying, that she wished she would have been, the fact that she was gone, she wished she would have been for something more, that I was actually gone for a reason. You were gone for a reason. Yes, you're gone on the second challenge, but honey, this is a mark in history. You will always be that girl that made it through the process, that made it onto the show, Okay, so you were on the show for 2 full episodes. That is a mark in history. So you don't have a reason to downplay. Honey, you ain't let your daughter down. You ain't let your daughter down. And truly, don't you ever believe that just your little small time on the show won't open up some doors for you. So, yeah, I wanted to just take her and hug her and then shake her, honey, and tell her, girl, snap out of it, honey. Snap out of it. You didn't let your daughter down, honey. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Everything happens for a reason. Believe that. Anyway, that's it. That was it for season 18, episode 2, Project Runway. Having a great time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode. Later.